I love playing Kalista, but this unit can be quite tilting. It's just so frustrating to watch her swap targets and seemingly waste all of her spears. There are different reasons that can cause a unit to swap its target in set 9, and some of them are quite surprising. The first two are super obvious, so let's get them out of the way. The Rogue trait and Edge of Night. Both of them work the same. If the unit drops below a certain HP threshold, they become untargetable for a short amount of time and reset all of the aggro. This is why it's often a good idea to put Rogue units in front of Kalista, because the Rogue proc will either tank the spear damage or force her to swap to the next target, and the initial spears won't have any effect until she attacks the Rogue unit again. You can also influence targeting with crowd control. In older sets, the rule set was that normal crowd control effects like stuns would not break the focus of a unit. Only disarming a unit, which is a very specific kind of CC that prevents auto attacks, will make a unit look for a new target after the CC duration is over. The new target is pretty much always the closest enemy from the current position. In set 8, this was changed, and all crowd control would cause units to change their target to the closest enemy after the CC duration is over. This change took a bit of time to get used to, because certain AoE effects would end up making the enemy backline focus on the unit that you transported with Hecarim. I'm not sure when exactly this was reverted, but in set 9 we are back to the original rule set. This means if the backline is hit by a Jarvan or a Lissandra ult, then they are not phased by this at all and will continue to attack their initial target. Kassadin is the unit you want if your goal is to make use of the disarm effect, but keep in mind that he loses this effect with the Riftwalker augment. Units that are disarmed will re-evaluate their target and swap to whatever unit is now closest to them. This is the core concept of aggro, but this is not the reason I wanted to make this video. I want to highlight two specific interactions that heavily annoy me when playing ranged carries, especially Kalista. The first one is about Echo, but has nothing to do with the Rogue trait. Echo's ability makes him dash backwards, healing himself, and then porting to his target to deal magic damage. This backwards dash can cause a lot of issues. In the first fight, we have Echo attack Maokai from a left angle. If he uses his ability, then Kalista will continue to target him like nothing happened. If we change up the positioning a bit, Echo is now a bit further away and attacks Maokai from a right angle. Now the dash will briefly put him out of Kalista's aggro range, and she will swap her focus to Swain. This can happen surprisingly often with Echo, and is one of the reasons why he can be such a nuisance to deal with, because it gives him more time to heal back up. The second interaction revolves around Set. No, not that one, the other guy. Yes, that one. As I showcased in a previous video, he has a very interesting ability that makes him displace the enemy frontline in a way that can favor you. Unfortunately, it can also cause the opposite. In this setup, we have Vi as the initial target and the enemy Set is coming from the side. After Set casts his ability, Vi gets displaced for a brief amount of time, and similar to the Echo interaction, this will make Kalista drop aggro and now focus on Sejuani as her new target. In a normal game, you can see this interaction happen from time to time if you're playing an Ionia Challenger opener with Kalista as your main carry, and it can potentially ruin your fight. So the next time you see your carry swap aggro, you should now have a better understanding of what might have caused it. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. I hope you learned something, and see you next time.